pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is a Lincoln County Commission regular session meeting on Friday, February 4th, 2016 at 6 p.m. I need a motion to call the meeting to order. Okay. All members are present. Darrell Baker, Phoebe Harless, Charles Vance, and KK Matthews. I need a motion to approve the minutes of our last regular session meeting on January 21st at 6 p.m.
I'll move and approve the minutes. I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, under public comment, we had Dr. Lauren Smith had asked to be put on here, but he couldn't make it tonight, so. JJ, is anybody? Okay, we have a couple of people signed in. Doris Sharp. Doris just. And it's Midway School.
Yes. You look good sitting out in the middle. It's the first time I've seen you this
Well,
time.
thank you.
I miss it. Well, with winter time, you know, it's hard to get out and everything. So, anyway, I wanted to give you all an update of what we're doing at the schools in the area. I'll give you a copy. You won't have to write so much. The Alum Creek Lions Club has partnered with the Alum Creek VFW to take care of the needs of the kids at Alum Creek Elementary and Midway. And I know Alum Creek is in Kanawha County, but that's included in our project. So far, the VFW has purchased $600 worth of clothes for the kids. The school also has a backpack program and a reading program in place. The Alum Creek Lions Club has purchased over $100 worth of clothes, jeans, tops, socks, and sweatpants for the kids at Midway Elementary, and with the school here, you know, we may get them some more. Midway has also started a garden. I'm not sure if it's a flower garden or a food garden, but we're going to assist with that, and Alan's going to assist with it. Debbie Bose is on the committee to help that, and she's going to help them with that garden. The Lions Club already has a backpack program in place, and Midway also has a reading program. The next few weeks, I'll go to the school to instruct the kids about the meaning of Flag Day. And also, I've purchased 20 DVDs, and some of these are doubles, for the kids at the Alum Creek Library, because those kids come over from the school and go in the library and read. So far this year, this school year, we've taken good care of both schools. So I want y'all to know what we were doing over there.
Good work.
Thanks.
Thanks, Doris. I don't see your husband back there. Do you have anything?
No.
Okay.
Put my name there behind hers. I couldn't get to doing that.
Hallelujah.
All right, discussion and possible action. We have advocates for safe water. Is anybody here tonight? No. Okay. All right. And we had asked the Lincoln EDA, McCorkle Community Center, and Regional Day Report to come and kind of to give their budget request and give us an update on what was going on. So we didn't wait till we're at budget time. Okay, we have the EDA on here first. Larry, if you want to.
Thank you, Commissioners, and folks that's attending tonight. I'm Larry Stutler, the Executive Director of the Lincoln EDA, and I'm going to give a brief report, I hope it's a brief report of what we are doing and our budget requests and so on and so forth. I got a fax from Mary, and I may put the budget request at the end of my comments, if that's okay. She said to bring our annual audit, which you all probably already have that, but there's another one.
Thank you, Larry.
Okay, and then to kind of give you a summary of what we've been doing in 2015, of the projects that we were working on and what we're going to be working on in 2016. So I'll go through these. If you have any questions as I go through each one, feel free to ask. I'd be glad to elaborate on it some. Otherwise, I'll keep going. In 2015, the Lincoln EDA completed the farmers market at Alum Creek. There was a lot of work went into that in terms of planning, budgeting, design, that sort of thing. But that is now established over there in Allen Creek, and this will be our second, probably our first full year of operation at that location. The second item that we worked on was the West Virginia Department of Highways project that's slated for the business park out on Lower Mud. That particular project is to construct a new maintenance garage along with a regional training center, and then to rehab the existing facility in West Hamlin and bring an additional division in there, resulting in the initial estimates of from 31 to 40 new jobs for the county. That was pretty much dragging along. We had information that, well, maybe it's off, maybe it's on. We really didn't know. So at our last meeting of 2015, last board meeting, we asked the officials from the Department of Highways that's over that project to come in and give us an update. They did, and they said that everything was all systems go. They were still committed to the project. It was taking a little longer than they had anticipated. And so the board of directors voted to extend their, it's called an intergovernmental agreement, through June. That would give them a little more time to get their designs complete. They're building 9 of these, and it's basically a public-private partnership that's allowing this to go ahead. So that is still on the burner. We have made progress, although you just don't see it right now. The other thing that happened in 2015 was we had the grand opening of the first Goodwill store in Lincoln County. We've been after that for some time, and it is now real in the West Hamlin Plaza. We applied for and was awarded an Appalachian Power Edge grant in the amount of $20,000 to be used for the Lincoln Economic Summit. And I'll explain a little more about that when I talk about 2016, because that's when it's really going to come through. The bottom line is we want to develop a county comprehensive plan containing both a needs assessment and a strategic plan. And I was wanted to bring a copy of what we now use as our needs assessment. This is very important, even often in grant applications, and we certainly got a lot of those coming up, so I want you all to have a copy of this. This is the only one we can find anywhere, here or anywhere else. I mean, we've obviously got it. That's what it looks like. That's why we need to update it and get one that's workable, that we can actually turn in. I think,
How old is that, 1990?
I'm thinking 1994, KK, would be my guess.
Good year.
Yeah, it was. I was a lot younger then than I am now, but anyhow, that's one of the things we'll be working on. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. We had fairly significant involvement in the Family Dollar store, not in West Hamlin, but the one that's being built in Branchland during the year, concerning the availability of the property, traffic counts, particular regulations that the county may have. We were in contact with them initially, and then we turned up basically what we had done over to Rick Helton, and he took it from there. We worked on the little coal stream access, and basically continued to try to get information on how we could proceed on getting that accessible. We have a sign on 119 that says it's stream access, but it's not. And we wanted to get that improved, not something magnificent, but just so you could get in it. In talking with, I believe it's Bill Curry, which is a great guy, he explained to me that his understanding was DNR was planning to build a fairly nice park adjacent to that. So with that in mind, we kind of went, okay, that's their area of expertise, let's see what they do with it. So that's what Mr. Curry explained to me, and he's very well versed on that sort of thing. In March of 2015, our board voted to partner in the MDRC grant competition. That was the National Disaster Relief Competition. We worked on that during the summer, various meetings. of course, it was being led by the development office and even the governor's office. As you probably read, we didn't get it. They didn't get it. We were a little bit disappointed, but there's something that this was tied to that I'll talk about for 2016 that's huge, and it's still going forward. Early in 2015, the EDA, and I worded it as stepped in to a lead role in planning for and securing funding for a wastewater treatment plant in the Alum Creek area. Since then, we have taken a support position. At the time, it seemed like we may have to be in more of a lead position, but that didn't materialize. Things are working out real well. We've also worked with the citizens on Branchland Park ownership and offered to help them secure a 501c3 organization that's patterned after the Cold River Group for their group up there. At this point, that's still kind of undecided. And the other thing we accomplished, and these are just the highlights, we completed the first Leadership Southern class. It's done, and what this is, I envisioned it starting out as Leadership Lincoln, and it's kind of patterned after Leadership West Virginia, but we actually expanded it regionally to include our southern counties. And that first class is now complete, and we'll be looking forward to the second class in 2016. In 2016, and these are not in order of importance, but our first thing, excuse me, that I have on the list is Wahonda Tool. Wahonda Tool is a company in Kanawha County that we're trying to recruit to Lincoln County, and they have a desire to come to Lincoln County. You have 10 plus full-time jobs. They export machine parts that they manufacture at their location. Apparently they're very unique, and the next market that they're opening up is in India. That seemed like a really good opportunity to get that company into Lincoln County. So we're working on that. The other thing that we're in contact with, or the other company, is the Family Dollar in Alum Creek. We've had a increase in the number of, some people call them dollar stores, but they're really not the dollar store concept. They're Family Dollar and Dollar General. And Family Dollar, we've been in contact with the contractors, and they in turn in contact with the owners about their location over there and some issues that they may be running into. Which brings me to our Lincoln Economic Summit. This probably will take a little bit of time for us this year because we want to have, this is what the EDGE grant will be going for. And actually I've got another piece of that funding that I expect to hear from any time on a Flexi grant to make it a larger amount of money. What we'll do is start out with a Lincoln Economic Summit. It'll be a one-day event. Probably, we've talked to LCOC, have it there. We'll have government, both county, the towns, state involved. I've asked Neil to join us, talk about maybe some of the opportunities for the county with the port. I think this will be a time that we can itemize and identify some of the economic issues that we face. And then what we want to do is to establish a framework and committees to work on that over the next 6 months and come up with an actual plan. So we'll identify our needs, and then we'll construct a strategic plan to try to address those needs. That will replace what you have there. This has worked very well in Mingo County. They did the same process, and it worked out very well for them. So we're going to try to replicate that here, and my hope is that this can be a 5-year plan for the county going forward, that they'll be able to look at it and say, well, we've made this kind of progress, or we haven't made this kind of progress. It's not all wins, and sometimes it takes time. We expect, and we were told, by the West Virginia, this is moving on to the West Virginia Department of Highways, that we should have groundbreaking for the new maintenance garage and regional training facility in the spring. Now, we're getting close to that, and depends on if you believe the groundhog or not, as we were talking earlier, but we're not that far off, so, but then it'll run for a while, so they're still planning on a groundbreaking out there at our last meeting. The other is the launch of the second Leadership Southern class. This is something that we tried to recruit Mary for, the first one. Now you're gonna have to go to the second one, Mary.
I'll go to the second one. All right.
That's all there is to it. The purpose of this is to bring emerging leaders from the counties, southern counties, that is Lincoln, Logan, Boone, Mingo, Wyoming, and McDowell, together for a 6-month course. Yeah, it should be gone 6 months, folks, so there you go. No, it's 1 day every month for 6 months. And they look at various activities in those counties. In Lincoln, we were hosted by Lincoln Primary. They're also known as Southern West Virginia Health Systems. And Brian done a great job of explaining the school-based health care process, their pharmacy, their various clinics that they have throughout the entire area that this covered. So I was very proud of Lincoln and what we brought to the table in that class. So the second one will be launched this year. The big one I've saved for last, and this is one that came out not long ago. President Harless and I were asked to come to Charleston to be briefed on, in the governor's office, on what was going on with Hobet mining property. That was one of the projects that the NDRC grant was going to help. Since we didn't get it, myself and 3 other of my peers have been summoned to the development offices coming Wednesday, and they're going to give us an update because they're not backing down from what I hear. Then they're going to bring the commissioners in separately. So that's coming up. We'll be talking about that and seeing just where we are with this Hobet property. What that amounts to, it's a 12,000 acre development in Lincoln and Boone counties. It will be the largest that has ever been constructed in West Virginia history. It would be big enough to hold every economic development project that they've done in the last several years, and then some. That's what Governor Tomlin is committed to, and he's working very hard to try to make this happen. So we'll be up there seeing what he needs us to do. It's very important that we have this kind of availability of sites. Site availability and infrastructure is 2 of the things that we run into every day. On today, I was contacted by one of my peers in one of the southern counties where they're dealing with a company and they're looking for 175 acres that they can use. Well, we've been looking, trying to see if there's 175 acres anywhere, but it has to be where they can have good road access. This is the kind of thing that we run into all the time. But so we're hoping that we can do something in case it falls through for the other county. We can at least keep it in southern West Virginia. That's what we're into, and my budget request for this fiscal year 2016 and 17. We operate primarily with what's called an LED grant. It's a local economic development grant. A lot of times it's been anywhere from $34,000 to $30,000 and so on and so forth as it goes up and down. The budget at the state level, as everyone knows, is getting tight. The budget at the local levels is getting tight. This commission has been extremely good to us and worked with us and cooperative at every step of the way. I think we're all on the same page wanting to move the county forward economically. Accordingly, my board has voted that we want to take a 1-year moratorium on asking for a match from the county commission this year. We're asking for 0. I've been in contact with the development office, and the EDA can set aside the money for operations, and they will match it. So that's where we're at.
Just a comment, I know we're talking about it, but he's trying to work on us being designated as a foreign trade zone, working with the Pritchard, having Charleston to Huntington to the Pritchard area being like a triangle would be a
Right.
foreign trade zone. Once, if they can get that designation, there's a lot of recruiting
Oh, it will.
businesses and things in here, which will be something to look forward to in the development of the site over at Colgan.
That, exactly, it'll work hand in hand with that, and that is probably, when you look at the Hobet site and what Neil's doing there at the port, the intermodal facility, those are the two best economic development drivers that we're gonna have going forward in this area. It's exciting to see this coming, but it can't get here fast enough, because we're losing jobs every day, and we still have plans for this. Now, the intermodal facility's certainly up and going, but to get the Hobet up is gonna take a little time, although the governor is pushing it on fast forward. And that's why I wanted Neil to, my predecessor, to be at the economic summit to kind of share with us what's going on there. And it needs to be in a comprehensive plan for Lincoln County going forward. That triangle you mentioned, Commissioner, we're in the center of it. We're in the heart of it. We're, as we say on our website, naturally located between all the commerce centers of this area. And it's time we let people know that. I've heard that we're so far away. Well, in fact, we're in the middle of everything, when you really think about it. That's what we're selling. That's what we're trying to tell. That's what we're gonna hang our hats on, and that's what's gonna save us. So, appreciate the commission, and what they've done for us. Each of you have been supportive, and the EDA thanks you.
I attend the meeting, so I know all this, what's going on over there, so I don't have any questions. Do you?
No.
And- Okay, I was wondering. And thank you and your board for considering the situation we're in right now with our budget and.
Glad to do it.
Yeah, we really appreciate you not asking for anything.
It's the first time I ever came and asked for nothing. Now, we don't want to make a habit of it. Thank you all very much.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Larry.
Larry.
Okay, I think I'm gonna let, the Day Report Center go next. I'm sure you don't have any objections to that.
None at all. All right. I'm Judge Thompson, as I believe y'all know. I'm here to ask for some support once again from the Day Report Center. We have Michelle Akers here, who's our Day Report Director. I've also brought Jerry from the Probation Office, Matt and Elena as well. In case there's any questions you have that I don't know the answer, they should know the answer. As you know, we're funded through grants, and the grants require a local match. I think Day Report is a great thing for Lincoln County. Right now, I think there's more of the 4 counties. It's Boone, Lincoln, Logan, and Mingo. I think Lincoln County has the largest population right now as far as actual clients served. For a long time, Mingo didn't have any. Now they're getting up there, and it used to be Boone had the most, but now I think Lincoln has the most. I think Michelle mailed you all a packet. You got an opportunity to review that. I'm not going to read it to you. If you have any questions on it, feel free. What Lincoln County did last year, there was a grant awarded of about $536,000. The 4 counties were responsible for 30% of that. So that match for Lincoln County was $57,509. We expect it to be right about the same this year. We asked, you always ask for more than what you expect. We asked for $600,000. If we do, then that would go up a little bit, but we're expecting it to get, everybody's budget's horrible right now, and I understand that, but we're expecting it to be the same as it was last year. Day Report is what drives many things in the court system, drug court, most people here are familiar with that, would not exist without day report. You just couldn't do it. Probation services, would be very difficult for probation to do their job the way they're doing it now, which I think they're doing a heck of a job, without the day report support. Community service, there's numbers in there, you can look at those, but there is a lot of community service done. And then there's other good things that day report does that you don't really put numbers on. One thing we do in day reports, we encourage people to better themselves. A lot of GEDs are gotten by our day report clients. It's a requirement. In fact, they pretty much need a waiver from me to not get the GED. And there's been many people who said, I just can't do it. And it's like, you're going to try. And there's been many of those that actually succeed and get their GED. Jobs, we encourage, I know jobs are tough to find right now, but when we've got people in day report that are finding jobs, and they're not necessarily the best jobs, but they are jobs. And there's lots of good things that happens in the community, and some of this, I know we're trying to put numbers on, and everybody's focusing on numbers, but I'm looking at the big picture, and we're putting people back with their families, we're putting people back in their community, we're making the community safer. We're not perfect. There's things, we kicked 2 people out of drug court today because of issues. But they had their chance and they did take advantage of it. And same token, we're still doing, I think, a lot more good. And if you have any questions on numbers, I think most of them are there. I can answer any specific questions about day report. Even family court uses day report quite a bit. They use it for drug screens and things of that nature. We try to help with the cities and the county with community service. So we're trying, and I know this is a tough year to ask, but we're asking once again.
We haven't really had a chance to look over the schedule because we just got it, but it looks pretty good. Pretty, we can tell more about what's going on. But my big question was, when do you have to have that memorandum of understanding or whatever you would call it? Is it, because the last time we kind of got down to the end and.
Right.
When is it?
The grant itself has to be on their desk by noon of March the 11th. So
March the 11th.
I would ask by March, first week of March, just so that I have time to get everything.
Yeah, we could just go ahead and put on the next agenda to vote on it, so we can get it signed and not wait down to the end. But we had talked last year during all that, about, I mean, we know you have to have our mileage to get the grant. But we had talked about, is there any way, because we pay the utilities and all that stuff over there, that you can do any of that kind of stuff, do you think? Did you budget for any of that with,
Well, actually, providing the space and the utilities is also part of
the
It's
grant?
like an in-kind contribution.
It is, yeah, and so, no, unfortunately, there is no leeway there.
I'm grasping for some.
I understand.
I know.
But we talk about the jail bill all the
Right.
time, so without this,
Yeah,
You know, we really need help with the jail because, but I would like.
There's
to-
things we're trying, and then I don't know if this is necessarily the point to discuss them. We're trying some things. We started something in Boone. I don't know if we want to do it in Lincoln or not, where we're having the county actually pay some home confinement fees and in exchange have the people go out and work, basically. So,
community service.
yes. So really what you're doing, instead of paying the almost $50 a day for a jail bill, you're paying $10 to $12 for home confinement, but you're getting work out of it.
And they're getting drug screened.
yeah.